Hi, I'm Julia Conyers, and I'm a County Extension Agent for the Texas AgriLife Extension Service. Are you wondering what you're going to be fixing for dinner tonight? If so, I think I have the solution for you. I'm going to be making hearty 2-bean minestrone. It's nutritious, it's low budget, and it's very satisfying. So let's get started. 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 1 medium chopped onion, along with 2 cloves of garlic that have been minced and pre-mixed. We have a can of Italian stewed tomatoes. We have some Parmesan cheese here for garnish. We have a 1/2 cup of uncooked whole wheat macaroni. We have some seasonings, 1/4 teaspoon of Italian seasoning and 1/4 teaspoon of crushed red pepper, along with a can of tomato sauce. We have some delicious Swiss chard that has been chopped up, and in your recipe you'll see that this is optional, but I really encourage you to include it in your recipe because it's nutritious, it has added fiber to it, and it just makes your dish a lot prettier and more fun to eat. We also have a can of pre-rinsed low-sodium kidney beans, and we have 1 can of pre-rinsed and drained low-sodium garbanzo beans, and 2 cans of the low-sodium chicken broth. So let's get started. We're going to begin with putting the oil into our stock pot here, and I have it preheated at a medium heat, so it's starting to sizzle. I know that's a good time to add the onions and the garlic. Again, it's 1 medium onion and 2 cloves of garlic that have been minced. And I'm going to cook this for about 3 to 5 minutes or until the onion starts to turn translucent or look a little bit clear. Okay, you don't want it to get too brown. You just want it to start looking clear. And it looks like we just about got that. So at this point, the rest of it is a snap. We're just going to essentially add all the other ingredients. So let's start with the Italian stewed tomatoes. We're just going to add that in with the onion. We're going to stir. Make sure it's combined. Okay, then we can move on to the seasonings. We've got a 1/4 teaspoon of the Italian seasoning and the crushed red pepper. We have a can of tomato sauce we're going to add. I'm going to go ahead and add the kidney beans, the garbanzo beans, just to make it kind of brothy and not to have it too thick. I'm going to go ahead and add the chicken broth next. And again, this is 2 cans low sodium chicken broth. I'm going to stir it well. Now I have the heat on medium heat, so at this point I might want to turn it on up to high. And the reason for that is we want it to come to a boil. And the reason we want it to come to a boil is because we're going to add the uncooked whole wheat macaroni. And in order for that to cook, we've got to have the broth to boil. And then my favorite ingredient, the Swiss chard. Isn't it pretty? You can see the different colors. Swiss chard comes in regular Swiss chard, but it also has a variety that's a red Swiss chard and a rainbow Swiss chard. So to make a more interesting meal, I'd encourage you to use it. So we're going to put the 2 cups of the cut Swiss chard in. Okay, we're going to keep stirring, and we're going to let it come to a boil now. And that's going to cook everything together, combine all those seasonings and those flavors, and it's going to make a scrumptious soup. I'm going to finish cooking this for another 10 or 15 minutes, but I've also over here prepared some ahead of time that I would like you to see. And in this finished dish, I have, of course, the minestrone here, But I've topped it with the grated Parmesan cheese, and that adds just some great added flavor. I have a little garnish of some fresh thyme, and then I'm serving it with a salad, which is a nice complement to the soup, along with some hummus and some pretzel chips. The cost per serving for this dish is less than $2 per serving, and the nutritional value includes no cholesterol, it's low in sodium, and it's high in protein. So the next time you think about what you want to cook for dinner, please consider the great resources and the great recipes that we have to offer here with the Texas AgriLife Extension Service. Thank you.